That's your boy. Yeah. Yeah. I put an explosive title up there, busted 22 alleged arrests on the Social Security fraud website and Department of Justice website. Everything, it was something I wanted to show y'all at the last minute yesterday. So, I just found it, saved it, and we finna get this show started. I hope not to be doing no struggle screaming. Uh, and I have something extra to ask. A war room on Social Security. This is the first time we ever seen in our life a president that just can't even get into gears with his legislative body and framework. And this this is some odd stuff because man, people in this war room, their normal basis of salary is $174,000 or $193,002. It varies. So the suspicious is how did they ever become this intelligent when it comes to playing the stock market, uh, monetizing with their money and things. You do, a lot of us got some things that can kick off in our head if we had a certain amount of salary and stuff. Family members we can help out with, like, different business ventures. But, to make a long story short, that's about the shortest monologue y'all ever gonna hear right in these YouTube spaces. I may can go longer, but I gotta be direct about it. And hope I don't be struggle string. So the feedback to what I showed y'all yesterday, right in this space, we're gonna take it off from right here. And I showed y'all a little bit.
So, yeah, let's get right into this. Here's the deal. We have them right here. Two saucy buns on the sheets coming out of the oven. Here's the bottom line. The SSA OIG, Office of Inspector General, publishes some hot sheets that talk about beneficiaries. Beneficiaries come in two forms. They come in the form where, number one, they receive a check from the SSA, they're a beneficiary. And then beneficiary number two is where they benefit off of a beneficiary, usually in the form of fraud, some fault, whatever. Okay, so here's the bottom line. First one of the groups of individuals who have frauded or done something wrong to the Social Security Administration.
Listen.
Now, remember, these are not really trophy hunts, like going out and hunting, right, of Elon Musk. They're not. These are more pre-Elon Musk OIG individuals. What we're seeing right now is what I think is a nice, dribble of like, we're getting this person who did it, they prosecuted that person, they indicted that person's going to jail. But Elon has just begun with Pam Bondi a massive, arrest situation where they're going to be going after a lot of criminals that they find, which is the validating point for Elon, whether or not the judges will uphold essentially these prosecutions against these individuals. So I'm telling you now, but in the not too distant future, you're going to be seeing significantly more, which will start to be Elon's people that have basically, charged through Pam Bondi, people that they claim have committed fraud against the SSA. Here we go. First one. Quincy woman was sentenced for Social Security fraud April 3rd, 2025. U.S. Attorney's Office, District of Massachusetts, Boston. A Quincy woman was sentenced today in federal court in Boston for fraudulently receiving Social Security disability benefits. Crystal Jesumaria, 41, was sentenced by U.S. Magistrate Judge Jennifer C. Bowl to 3 years of probation in order to pay $93,603 in restitution. Earlier in the hearing,
so I'm gonna stop right there. Now that just to give you a little insight of what I played yesterday, fair use. Now that's what happened. So with that there, you can find that on the Social Ministry Office of the Inspector General website. Okay, Office of Inspector General website. Quincy woman that was arrested April 3rd. Now, wait till y'all see the thing I wanted to show y'all yesterday was this, and here it is. Those 22 The 22 arrests. It's right here. 22 named in federal cases alleging theft of Social Security. This is buck to the buck, diggity, buck wild. Let's look at it. Los Angeles. Do y'all see it? Federal authorities have charged a total of 22 defendants with defrauding the Social Security Administration by illegally receiving cash benefits and causing a cumulative loss of 2.6 million. Most of the defendants are charged with taking Social Security benefits for relatives after the family member had died and fallen fallen to alert the agency that the actual beneficiary has passed away. Now that's known throughout the state, but look, these are all specifically. Federal grand jury of Los Angeles returned 21 indictments last week. Cases that were announced today after one defendant, an employee of the Social Security Administration, was arrested for allegedly diverting benefits to herself. So we have these kind of frauds and injuries happening within our departments and stuff. Those charged last week for 100,000. Look, keep on looking. See? All defendants are charged with theft, government property, a crime that carries statutory or maximum sentences of 5 years. But the previous fellow that was just speaking, her case is a slap on the wrist with 3 years probation. Look, here's one. Vicki Lynn, a sergeant with the Los Angeles County Sheriff, is charged with 7 felony counts for allegedly taking her mother widow's insurance benefits after she died. See? Here's another one. Jose Alleging something. Well, 16 counts. Here's another one. Inspector General is in committing and pursuing those violated. This said Ricky Smiley, Special Agent of the San Francisco Field Division, which is responsible for Southern California. We will continue to uphold the integrity of the Social Security benefit program, which are a lifetime for so many. And look at all these names. Inglewood, Oxnard, Moreno Valley, Willowbrook. That's Willowbrook, Thousand Oaks. See? Look at it. Temecula, Long Beach, Salt Lake City, man, they're way out there by Palm Springs and shit. Encinitas, Chino Hills. Look. Fraud. All across the board. Contact information. So, Ricardo Stevens, 58 of Inglewood, who has allegedly illegally received nearly $350,000. Catherine Kushner, 64 of Oxnard, who is charged with illegally taking $241,793 from the Social Security Administration. Maria Lopez, 59, Moreno Valley, who is alleged to receiving just over $35,000 according to her indictment. So you see, these are some big windfalls. And it's been going on for years and years. Was some of them getting short money and somebody was getting another cut? Could that be what this is explaining to these people that work for the agency? So, it's just saying that, allegedly they just may have something. But let's look in the war room and see why. Now y'all going to see why they gunning so hard for this. Give me a minute. Let me take that down. And now we're finna get down to the get on down now. Now, in the war room, this part do y'all see this section right here? I'm finna show y'all this. Fair use, fair use. Time to go into the war room. The war room. That's why I'm going to have this on the thumbnail. Social Security War Room. Senator Warren and Wade and host Social Security War Room press conference. Let's listen in a little bit on this.
They wanted to cut.
There go Chuck Schumer. Check it out. But let's see what our girl Elizabeth, because you know, her net worth is 174. But man, I sure can't wait to buy her book. You know, like seriously. Her book? What is in these books that they selling that is making this so much money? Or was it the pandemic funding of pharmaceutical loopity loops and inside trading jumping off? Let's hear what she really has to say.
Use it to pay for their food on the table and some giveaway. Social Security is something that people earned by paying into it for all of their working years. It is a sacred promise that if you pay into the system when you retire, you can count on these benefits. Right now, Trump and Musk are breaking that promise for 70 million Americans who receive Social Security benefits. Over half of seniors who rely on Social Security use it to pay for their food on the table and a roof over their heads. Elon Musk makes $8 million a day from the federal government, and he wants to take away the $65 a day that the average Social Security recipient gets.
Where's these receipts?
This is really ugly. Trump and Musk know that they don't have the votes in Congress to cut Social Security, so instead they're trying backdoor cuts by dismantling the agency that makes sure that Americans get the benefits they are legally entitled.
All right, supposedly, allegedly, is that what it's called? Because to me, I thought this is just an audit, just to clean up some of the scraps and unused office spaces, because we sure have a lot of unused buildings out here. And I know if we got some out here, it's definitely a lot of unused buildings in her state. Probably got some of that pocket change in it, or investment, or those trust funds investments that people don't never want to talk about. But let's speed this tape up a little and see what Chuck Schumer had to say. Fair use. Okay. Let's see what Chuck Schumer got to say.
Going to stop calling out these lies and rallying the American people to stand fully against these attacks on Social Security. The war room is just the beginning. Just the beginning. And I appreciate Senator Warren working with us.
And next we'll hear from the leader.
And they're in their 70s, y'all.
Thank you very much. I thank Senators Warren
Coming
and
up to
Wyden
80.
for leading this, and thank my colleagues, Senator Coons and Smith.
I'm talking about they in their 70s coming up into their 80s. And I mean, they really getting their hustle on. These books and these YouTubers that I know that be talking about the books and stuff that they sell, I know Amazon is not pushing their books that hard. And bestsellers, because wow. But let's listen to a little bit more, man, because this is unbelievable.
And shots, I'm missing it, nope, from being here. Thank you. Look, Social Security has always been the third rail in American politics. You touch it, you get burnt. George W. Bush learned that the hard way. This Trump, Doge, Musk vote administration is in such a bubble, they don't understand it.
See, they're not dismantling Social Security. They're just checking a few things. And, this is just fair use. If you want to listen to the rest, go listen and decipher for your own self what they're talking about. Because, man, I'm going to show you what I think that I got a hint that they may be talking about this. See, get that out the way. Okay. I think they're talking about this. See, we just saw our boy Chuck Schumer over there, right? Okay, he over there saying one thing, but it could be another thing. Could these be some of the things? Because see, things are just so cracked up that they don't want you to see. Like everybody Google this, and then you always gonna see a double backup AI type of Google. That and if you do an AI Google, it gets even crazier. But look at this network. It just get crazier and crazier time after time. It's like see, you got him right here. This is the lawyer something. And then you do this, 81 million. And then that's all he want to know. Like, how did they get this enormous amount of wealth in just short time? 2024, but explained by the 10 million he makes each year, according to Forbes and lobbying and business and endeavors. See, they can be lobbying some of the student funding money and all kind of things. Clone tracker. And then you look over here, and then you see Chuck Schumer is right here, 13 million. So, you know, numbers are going to vary. But it's one thing I really, 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 really noticed. They never say, take down how much I pay. Why haven't any of them ever said, take down my net worth? And then you got to look at this. Elizabeth be balling too. So if you do like this and you see Liz, and put her net like this, and it's gonna tell you some crazy stuff. Hers normally is like 10 million. And look, monthly income, 400,000. Golly. I mean, like, golly. Did y'all see this? Monthly income, 400,000. Golly. Let me take this down and show y'all what I'm talking about. Struggle screaming. Let me take this down. Get that out the way, and then we're gonna do this. Really trip off of that. Look at that. What did I say? 400,000 money? Come on. Seriously? Is her books that good? Or did she just have a lot of investments? All of a sudden, a lot of these investments come to them. But, you know, it just gives you an idea of why, you know, they creating these so-called war rooms and think tanks. These are think tanks. Female, 75 years old. Get her hustle in. Loans and liability, investments, 18 million. Wow. So, but still, how did it skyrocket so fast? That's the only thing that's curious. Over a long span of a career, these people didn't have some career. Look, favorite food, burritos and stuff. But you know, that's just the way the ball bounces. Till then, you know, get back. Do your own fact checking. I hope y'all enjoyed this show. Just wanted to give a little spin and stuff. Those links could be found within this video, and I hope y'all enjoyed this show.